Today on Dr. Phil, she stole her sister's boyfriend.
You started sleeping with him.
I would say he was the one knocking on my door.
Well, you answered it.
Then she married him.
You have never admitted that you've done anything wrong.
That's not true.
Bottom line is, you don't care. Did you even shed a tear when I called you?
When is an apology supposed to come through when you're just doing this all the time?
How are you self-righteous in this thing? Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
I'll try to be an emotional compass and point you in the right direction.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. This is a tale of two sisters torn apart by one man. Now, Angel was dating Brian first until Amber seduced him all the way to the altar.
Her face makes me sick. It made me sick then. It makes me sick now. Brian and I were in love. I was hoping that we would spend the rest of our lives together. My sister and I were close. I spent a lot of time with her and would confide in her. Your family is supposed to be the one thing you can depend on in your time of need. You're supposed to be able to trust that they will be there for you no matter what. And while I was trusting her to be there for me, she was helping herself to my future. No one knew what they were doing until she got pregnant. Oh my gosh, it turns my stomach just even thinking about it now. No. That turned me into a monster. It pushed me over the edge. It made me a really, really ugly, evil person. I laid in bed at night and I plotted people's deaths. I was this black hole of misery that just wanted to suck people in and make them just as miserable as I was. It has been 7 years, and she still hasn't apologized to me. Why would I want someone in my life that has no heart and has no soul and can hurt someone they love without even blinking an eye, without remorse?
While Amber admits she was wrong, she says Angel's wounds are old and she just needs to move on.
Brian and I were sleeping together for about a year before I got pregnant. I didn't want to tell Angel about the relationship between Brian and I. I didn't think of it as long term, but then I got pregnant. When Angel found out, she was very angry. She would threaten me. She would leave me hateful voicemails. If I see you, we're gonna fight.
She's yelling and screaming at me, talking about how much it's my fault. It was my fault, okay?
The last time I had a friendly conversation with Angel was before I got pregnant about 7 years ago.
Recently, I called her. I gave her an opportunity to apologize. One that she didn't take advantage of whatsoever, and proved to me once and for all how not sorry she was.
I've made several attempts to apologize to Angel through text message. I even sent her a care package with homemade brownies. I put mint chips. I know that's her favorite.
Okay, you are hugely upset about this.
Absolutely.
Because if I get this straight, your sister started sleeping with your boyfriend with whom you had already had 2 children.
Yes, sir. We'd been together for 7 years prior to the affair. And
Okay, so you and Brian were together for 7 years?
Yes, sir.
And you had 2 children?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then you come in the back door and start sleeping with her significant other and father of her children.
I wouldn't say I came through the back door. I would say he was the one knocking on my door.
Well, hell, you answered it.
Yes, I did.
front door, back door, down the chimney. It's still not your man.
Absolutely.
This is your sister's man, and you started sleeping with him
Yes.
for a year,
Yes.
and you never felt bad about it.
I did feel bad.
Well, you
Yes, I
said
did.
it was not that big a deal. You said we didn't think it was that big a deal. You didn't expect it to go anywhere.
I didn't expect it to go anywhere, no. I didn't plan on, having a relationship with him or anything like that at the time.
What did you call having sex with him for a year? That was not a relationship. What was that?
I mean, not like, I never thought we were going to be married and having our own family and stuff
Well, of course
like that.
not, because she was already with him.
Well,
Yeah.
I was supposed to do that. How could you think about that?
I wasn't thinking about it.
You weren't thinking about me
I
or
wasn't.
anybody else when you did that. I think
No, I
you were
wasn't.
thinking about yourself.
I was being very selfish at the time.
You what?
I was very selfish at the time, yeah. I was
At the
20 years
time?
old.
Yeah, okay, now, and here's the thing. You confided in her
Absolutely.
things about Brian.
Oh, not
Just
only-
sister to sister.
She was my confidant at the time. I was recovering from back surgery and depended on her to help me watch my children, and I depended on her as my sister to help me with my children. I was recovering from back surgery, and I'm telling her how I feel like I can't do things sexually with him because of my back. And, I'm like really concerned about a lot of things. And she takes that information and goes through whatever door you chose to go through to go ahead and take advantage of that situation.
So she uses you as a confidant, then you use that information.
I did not use that information to do anything. There was no manipulation on my part. I didn't have to manipulate him. I didn't take advantage of him when he was drunk.
Doesn't matter.
There was
The
none
thing
of that.
is, as a sister, my dear,
My
I
fault
trusted
was
you.
not saying no, not turning him down. That's
Okay,
where I went wrong.
Then how did it happen for a year? I mean, I can't understand how you could think that it's like I asked you, why didn't you tell me the first time when it happened? You're like, oh, I didn't want to ruin my relationship. So let's sleep with him for a year and let's make that better. I mean, seriously, how can you even think that you should know me? The respect would have came to you if you would have just told me the truth. But you weren't even the one who told me. In fact, you have never admitted to me that you've done anything wrong.
That's not true,
once.
Angel.
Really?
That
Really?
is
'Cause
not
even
true.
your fake apology did not even have admission of guilt. It didn't have repentance, and I'm
That's
sorry.
not
Those
true.
are the
Did you
two
even read the
requirements
text
of
messages?
forgiveness, my dear.
Did you even read the text
I
messages?
did. I
did admit my guilt. I said I was truly sorry.
Oh,
I
no,
did
no,
a
no, no.
horrible
you
thing.
You said, I'm deeply sorry for any pain that I have caused you. You are my sister, and I'd like to fix this. That's what you said after 7 years.
I've apologized
Excuse
to you
me, excuse
several
me.
times.
No, you have not.
Every time we get on the phone, Angel, this is how it happens.
Nope,
Just
nope,
on Monday,
nope,
that's
nope.
exactly what happened.
That's not
and
true.
then you had
That
you
is not
even
true.
asked me saying,
in fact, on Monday,
why can't we just talk to
you
each other?
had your
This is why.
opportunity- Excuse me. On Monday, when I called you, you had your opportunity to apologize then. In fact, did you even shed a tear when I called you? Excuse me. In fact, I believe that I
When is an
expressed...
apology supposed to
Excuse
come
me.
through when you're
Excuse
just
me.
doing this all the time?
No,
you can't, I
you're
can't
not
get in.
listening is the problem.
Okay.
I'm sorry. You're just not listening to the words that are coming out of my mouth.
Y'all don't really need me for this, do you?
No. I'm trying to
I mean, do I have to
speak-
be here for this?
No, I honestly, why do I have to be here for this when honestly there's nothing that's gonna change her mind about anything? She's not listening to anything I say. It's just really quick.
Where'd that come from?
It came from my bra. It's actually from the Bible. It's Proverbs 2:16, and I'd just like to
You have
just
the
express it
Bible in
real
your
quick.
bra?
I do.
And later,
You brought me onto this show because you want to cry about how I won't forgive you.
That's
you
not
don't even know what
true.
forgiveness
That's not
is.
why we're here.
You don't
Why
know
are
what
we here?
forgiveness is. Due to the pain that my sister has caused me, I have a hard time saying her name. I call her BF, which doesn't stand for best friend. It stands for bitch face. Basically, I've been using the letters BF to stand for her all this time because I choke. I choke on the words as they come out. So BF is just much easier to say.
I have just a couple of questions. You said that she's upset and that this is tearing the family apart and all of that. What do you expect her to feel?
I expected her to feel like this, but to drag it on
But
this
hell,
long.
what do you...
I'm sorry, an apology.
When does it end? How many times do I have to apologize? When is it like, when can we make a truce? When can we stop all the hatred and the anger? It has trickled down so far. I mean, the kids are being affected. I mean,
Oh, really?
not only your
What did
children,
you
but my
expect
children
to do
too.
when you had children with the father of my children?
They don't have a problem with that.
You
Angel.
made and married him. You made the children, my children, their father, their own uncle. Now you tell me how that's not supposed to affect the
That's
children.
not how we raise them, Angel.
I don't
That's
care.
Not, there's
Amber,
no confusion.
I don't care.
I know you don't.
Bottom
I
line,
know
no.
you don't.
Bottom line is you don't care. Okay?
If
Now
I
let
didn't
me
care, I
tell you
wouldn't be
something.
here.
Can I just express something real quick? Dr. Phil, can I please just express something really quick?
My second question. You said you didn't expect this to go anywhere. You were having unprotected sex.
I was
Right
on birth
here.
control the whole time, except for the very end when I did get pregnant. I missed my appointment. I didn't realize I missed it until after I was really sick and went to the doctors.
You were having unprotected sex. And your response is, oh, I was on birth control right up until, well,
When I got pregnant.
the end when I wasn't and got
purposely
pregnant.
get pregnant. I didn't get pregnant on purpose.
Oh,
We weren't
really?
trying to have.
Come-
we
come-
weren't. We weren't trying to have a baby. I was on
No,
birth control
he
the whole
wasn't.
time.
I bet you were.
You weren't on birth control the whole time. You got pregnant off of birth control,
I
correct?
missed my appointment. Yes, I did.
So stop saying you were on
It
birth
wasn't
control
an
the whole time
on-purpose
except for the
thing.
time when you got pregnant.
Okay, it was an accident. I accidentally got pregnant.
You don't accidentally not be on birth control. How
Thank you.
old were you?
20.
You were 20 years old. That's an adult. You
Yes.
are an adult. You knew you weren't on birth control and you had sex with her 7-year boyfriend,
That she
baby
knew.
daddy,
Yeah.
and you had unprotected sex. Now, come on. What you want to do is get past this. To get past this, you've got to get real.
Thank you.
Okay. I never purposely got. We weren't planning to have a baby. We weren't planning all of this stuff. It just happened.
When
I
are
mean,
you going to admit
yes, it
that
continued
you
for
screwed
a
up?
year.
When are
Yes,
you going
I
to
was-
admit that you're wrong?
I have. Did you not hear
When?
me?
When?
I just said.
What?
Angel,
No, I'm sorry, when?
Angel, I did screw up. I made a huge mistake.
Wow,
I
that's
apologize.
the first time that I've heard that from your mouth.
Maybe because it's the first time you're not talking while I'm saying
Oh,
it.
really?
Yes.
Because I called you and I said, hey, do you really want to do this? Pause. Here's your opportunity to speak. And you didn't take it.
You weren't listening to anything I said. That entire
No,
conversation
I'm
was
sorry.
completely irrational.
Can I ask a third question?
Yes.
How are you self-righteous and sanctimonious in this thing?
I don't see why I'm being self-righteous. I've been trying to apologize to her. I can't talk to her.
You say, you don't listen, you're not this, you're not that. I don't know.
She
I-
doesn't.
me,
When
I
we're
kinda-
talking, she just screams and screams and screams and screams. She doesn't let you come in. She doesn't hear your apology. And as soon as I do apologize, it's, oh, you're fake.
Okay,
You're
you
fake.
said, why do I say you're being sanctimonious and self-righteous? That's why I say you're
Thank
being-
you.
Okay,
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm
Thank
sorry.
you. If I can please say something.
If you will make it quick, and then we're going to break.
That's
and then,
fine.
then I'm
That's
going to come
fine.
back and tell you what I think you need to do, and then we're done.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. My whole thing is just that, you know, I've given her opportunities, and the thing is that when you have the will and desire to do something, you should take it. And if you have the guilt and the feeling of remorse in your heart, I don't care what you have to do to express it, it shows. And I do have something that I'd like to read, if possible. It's just really quick.
Where'd that come from?
It came from my bra. It's actually from the Bible. It's Proverbs 2:16, and I just like to
You had
just
the
express
Bible
it real
in your
quick.
bra?
I do. Actually, I have it on my phone too. Okay. Can you listen? Wisdom will save you from the adulterous woman. from the wayward woman with seductive words who has left the partner of her youth and ignored the covenant she made with God. Surely her house leads to death and her paths to the spirit of the dead. None who go to her return or attain the paths of life. Which basically, you know, with wisdom.
During the break, she will interpret that to her sister, apparently. What their mother has to say about all of this when we come back. Really?
Brian liked to call me a bitch no matter what I did. And then after they did what they did, I made being a bitch a lifestyle. And it was like, you want to see me be a bitch? Well, Dr. Frankenstein, how do you like the monster you created? Because I know how to be a bitch, believe me. My sister had the pleasure of marrying the love of my life.
My sister Angel will create situations where she and Brian are alone. Like when they do the child exchange, she demands that I'm not there. She'll say things to my family like, oh, he's flirting with me.
I don't think she loves him, not like I did. And I don't think he loves her, not like he loved me. He's really the only man I've ever loved.
Well, you're probably wondering where Brian is. The man caught in the middle of this love triangle. Well, he was going to be here until about 2 a.m. this morning, and he called in and said, oh, darn, I can't make it. Can't get there. I could be on the phone if you wanted me to call in or whatever. I said, no, I'll pass. So he does admit that falling in love with his girlfriend, Angel's sister, was not ideal, that it was Angel who encouraged Amber to move in with him.
Angel and I were together for about 4 years. We had a great time together in the beginning of our relationship. She just changed into a completely different person.
Brian and Angel never agreed on anything. They always argued. They didn't share the same view on a lot of things. Their dysfunction was pretty much the only thing they had in common. Their relationship was extremely toxic.
Angel blamed me for her back problems. Angel wanted to have another back surgery and wanted to move back with her mother. I was completely against moving back with her mother. Angel and I decided it would be better for me to get my own apartment. I was taking as her walking out on our relationship. Angel sent her sister, Amber, to stay with me as a way to keep an eye on me.
Angel feels that I seduced Brian and that I had gotten pregnant on purpose to try to trap him. Brian seduced me. Brian and I married a year ago. We have 2 children together, and we are expecting our 3rd child. Brian and I are soulmates. We have a very close relationship.
I admit that I was wrong. I try to apologize. I try to make amends with Angel. Is there anything that I can do about it? No. Can it be changed? No.
Can I say something, please?
Do I have a choice?
I didn't encourage it.
It doesn't matter whether you did or
She helped him
didn't.
get the apartment. Her name was on the lease.
If you drove him in, if you drove him over there and rolled him in on a dolly, it doesn't justify your sister crawling in bed with him.
You're right. And you know what? I love how they keep trying to turn this around like it's my fault.
I never said it was your fault, Angel.
Oh my goodness! You keep.
I don't know where you're getting that
You brought
from.
me onto this show because you want to cry about how I won't forgive you.
That's
you
not
don't even know what
true.
forgiveness
That's not
is.
why we're here.
You don't
Why
know
are
what
we here?
forgiveness is.
We're here because of the way it's affecting the children.
Okay, let's talk to your mother.
Please.
Hi. Angela and Amber's mom, Sandra, is joining us on Polycom. You're in Hawaii, right?
Yes, on a honeymoon.
Yeah,
Yes,
well,
ma'am.
congratulations. Sorry,
Thank you.
sorry to intrude. Love the flower and the lei. So tell me, what do you think about this division between the sisters?
Well, you're right in the middle of it, just the same way as I am, only I'm mom.
Right?
I can see expression on your face already. The emotions, the passions. Now try to be mom.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
So what happens on holidays when you all get around the Thanksgiving table? I mean, does the turkey fly or what?
2 holidays.
No.
No,
No, I won't go.
to keep it from being thrown at each other.
That's not.
We have 2 holidays.
So you have to split it
There's
up.
Usually.
Yes, 2 Christmases, 2 Thanksgiving.
Or half and
you
half.
know, half and half. Well, half and half. That's what I mean by 2.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
half and half.
So,
Yeah,
Mom,
it's half and half.
so Mom, what do you want to see happen here?
Well, what happened to Angel is not right. And not just us being Christian women, and all of us having a past, the only way to go forward and then what God expects us to do is to love one another unconditionally, to forgive, and move forward. And you can't move forward if you're carrying a trunk of junk. Everybody deserves a second chance. But there has to be remorse.
Thank you.
I love my girls. I love them dearly.
Well, do
And
you
they
think
both-
Amber is remorseful?
Oh, I know she is. One thing about Amber is that she backs off from any aggression, and she puts up a wall, a false pretense. And it's hard to see that, but I've seen her cry. I can see Angel's not accepting that. I've seen her cry.
Why isn't
I
she
know
crying
how
now
it-
if she's so remorseful?
Because
Well-
she can really hold it in.
Then if this is the time to show it, though, she's supposed to show she's sorry.
I
This
get
is
that.
supposed to
I
make
get that.
amends. And
But
there she
not
is with a straight
everybody.
face,
It
just like
just-
when I talked to her on Monday.
Okay, hold on. Listen,
I'm
I feel
sorry,
really
I'm
bad
sorry,
about
I'm just gonna be
intruding on.
quiet.
I feel really bad about intruding on your honeymoon because these girls are doing what they're doing. But at this point, your concern is that this is tearing the family up. There are children involved. In fact, your children do have to spend time with their father/uncle or stepfather, whatever.
Stepmom/Thea.
Yeah.
So they do get kind of, and you want to see that resolved for those children, correct?
I do, because I'm starting to see now that they're getting older, the anger and the way that they treat each other is really affecting the children, and I can see it. And I know it's hard to move forward for Angel and for anybody. I mean, I have a sister. And I can't imagine what I would be feeling. I'd be feeling probably a lot like Angel has, but I've had a lot of things happen to me myself, and I can tell you, you've got to let it go. You've got to forgive. You've got to believe that God's love, that He has a better purpose for us.
Mom, why can't you recognize how far I've come? I'm the one that's worked all this. I have done all the work. I have forgiven her. In fact, I told her I loved her on Monday. Did you return it?
Yeah, right before you said that you were willing for me to lose my baby so you could fight me.
Oh my
and then
gosh,
you could
no,
forgive me.
No, that's not true. What I said.
I had you on speakerphone.
Yes, what I said.
I'll give you my thoughts after the break.
So I'm just going to be quiet while Dr. Phil go ahead and makes his statement.
Okay.
I miss my sister very much. I do want a truce. I can understand if she doesn't want to forgive me.
She's heartless. And it hurts because that's my baby sister. And I told her, I love you. So I love you. You're my sister. I love you. Do you think she took the opportunity to return it? She didn't tell me she loved me back. As a matter of fact, all she could do was argue with me.
I'm here with Angel and Amber. We interrupted Mom's honeymoon, and I don't want to do that anymore. But let me just tell you what I think about. Do you want to know what I think about this?
I do. I'm listening. I am just hurt again by my family not recognizing my work as a Christian mom to forgive her and love her despite what she's done. You just totally took that away from me in your statement. So I'm just going to be quiet while Dr. Phil go ahead and makes his statement.
Okay. All I can do is tell y'all what I think, and then you're going to do whatever you want with it. Now, it's been 7 years.
Yes, sir.
And you have a higher calling here and a duty to the children involved in this situation.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
And sometimes people that really have a lot of angst for one another have to co-parent.
Absolutely.
And in this situation, you're having to co-parent with the father of your children and your sister to whom he is now married.
Yes, sir.
Now, you have shared things with us that relationship was perhaps anything but perfect.
Absolutely.
And I frankly think that it sounds like you may have really dodged a bullet here.
Honestly, I believe that God used this to cut him out of my life like the cancer he was. I do believe
maybe,
that.
and I'm not saying that means he's an evil guy, but
I'm not saying that either.
the two of you
We're not meant to be.
had a volatile relationship, and there was a lot going on there that didn't need to go on.
Yes, sir.
But be that as it may, that's over and you're out.
You're right.
But you made the choice to bring two children into this world with that man.
I did.
And when you brought those children into this world, you became a parent.
Absolutely.
The problem is parent is both a noun and a verb.
Yes, sir.
You aren't just a parent, you must parent. And that means there are things you have to do as a fiduciary for those children. And bad-mouthing their daddy, I'm not saying you do, just hear me out.
I'm listening.
I'm not saying you do. Bad-mouthing their daddy, putting them in the middle of a tug-of-war here where there's angst between you and you, and they feel that, they perceive that.
Yes, sir.
They pick up the tab for that.
Absolutely.
And if you're saying that you have forgiven her, doesn't mean that what she did was okay. Forgiveness is about you, not about her.
And it's not reconciliation either.
Then you don't have to reconcile.
Exactly.
You just have to co-parent.
Exactly.
And that means that you do whatever you have to do to keep those children from being in the crossfire of a battle between you and your sister.
Thank you.
Take the high road. There's a lot less traffic up there.
I've been trying to do that, but she's totally trying to bring me down to her road.
But it isn't up to her. Listen, you just need to choose to do what you need to do. If she chooses to not do it, you can't handle that. But you need to do what you need to do. You're obviously emotionally charged about this, and I'm saying that at some point, it's been 7 years, it isn't going to change.
No,
Let it
you're
go.
Right. The thing is,
let it go.
Can I ask you a question, Dr. Phil?
Very briefly.
Why would I want to spend time with somebody who has no remorse for what they've done? All I do is just try to keep my space. I've done exactly what you've done, but I'm not getting credit for it.
If she earns your trust and respect by creating a new history, then reconsider it. But if at this point you feel that she hasn't, then leave it alone.
You said earn, Dr. Phil.
Move on.
That's such a huge word, earn.
My next guest looks pretty good in her selfies, but her self-esteem is in the toilet because she always thinks her best friend looks better. We'll talk to both of them when we come back. So, doesn't that mean that your life going forward is really bleak? Because you're gonna look worse. On the outside, my next guest, Jen, looks confident and beautiful. But deep beneath the layers of makeup and hairspray, she is in a constant struggle, comparing herself to every other woman in the room, especially her own best friend, Megan.
Megan is so beautiful that being around her is hard on me. I'm jealous. I feel like she's just way prettier. She just has such confidence about herself that I envy.
When we as women look in the mirror and we see something wrong with ourselves, what's the first thing we do? What can I do to fix that?
Just me, raw, bare, no hair done, no makeup. I don't think I'm pretty. I feel like I'm losing a battle. I'm afraid of people not loving me, or that someday there's gonna be that cuter girl that is going to be more attractive than me.
She's her worst critic. I look at it as more of a competition, and I just go to my extremes and I'll see what I can do.
I want the real me to look better. I don't want to fix myself.
Okay, are you just the way you look?
You mean without all this makeup and hair? I don't look the same?
Yeah. Why is it so important to the two of you how you look?
Because it makes me feel a certain way.
Yeah.
It gives us confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not as worthy or respectable enough if I don't carry myself well.
And you think your appearance, your look equals self-worth? Be honest. I mean, that's what you say. You
From
come in the room
outside,
and that's how
yes.
you measure your worth and value.
Yes, I feel like I'm worth more. I feel like I'm better. I feel like I carry myself better.
Yeah.
I've been on the other side and I don't feel as good as myself. It's like not many people care to get to know you.
So doesn't that mean that your life going forward is really bleak? Because you're going to look worse. Going forward, take it from me. I look like an old catcher's mitt, okay? As you get older, things are going to get closer to the sidewalk, and wrinkles are going to become more pronounced, and you're going to become less competitive. Visually, there's always going to be somebody cuter, younger, fresher. There already is. Trust me.
I know. And that's why I try to do what I can, because I just like you said, I feel like there's always someone out there better, prettier, and I feel like it just gives me more boost to try to continue to work harder.
Yeah, but you lost 70 pounds, right?
I did.
All right, good job on that.
Thank you.
For a couple of reasons. And I say that for a couple of reasons. One, because you feel better about yourself, number one. But number two, that's a return to health.
Yes.
Right? I mean, I guarantee
absolutely.
you your lab work went from out here to center and up.
And I was off the couch a lot more,
heart-wise, and you became more active and all of that.
Yeah.
And you were involved with somebody that dumped you for...
Someone younger.
In his mind, somebody that was younger, cuter, fresher.
Right.
And that person can be dumped for somebody younger, cuter, and just like a guy can be dumped for somebody that is more studly. And look, you can never win that foot race. Which one of you said you take the perfect selfie?
That's me.
Yeah, that'd be Jen.
You don't let other people take a picture.
No.
You'll take it, right?
Yes.
How do you take the perfect selfie?
Well, you kind of have to angle it like this. Like, it has to be up. And then you have to have, like, the right background and the right lights.
Yeah.
And you have to have, like, the right face expression.
Oh, you're in the right town for all this.
Yeah.
Your self-image is damaged because you're not focusing on the right things.
I think it's more of a control thing, too. Like, I feel like the better I do, the more that I am, the more control I have with myself.
If your body image and self-image are tied together, you're making a serious, serious mistake. And I say that based on work with people that have been injured and become paraplegic and quadriplegics. They have taught me that although it should not be, that self-image and body image oftentimes travel connected together. That if your body image deteriorates, your self-image tends to go with it.
Yeah.
And particularly with men, actually. I mean, men that can no longer stand up and feel strong and masculine, that first shock for them is terrible. It's a terrible shock because their body image has been damaged, and so their self-image just goes in the tank. And they're not less of a man, they just feel that way in the beginning. And if your self-image and your self-worth is tied to your perception of your body image, you're in for a rough ride going forward. You've got to expand it beyond that. I mean, what's your best quality? Are you smart?
Yeah.
Are you caring?
Very.
I mean, is she a good friend?
The best.
I mean, is she loving and caring and supportive?
Absolutely. She's the most genuine person I've ever known.
Those are the things you've got to focus. I mean, those are the things you should value about yourself. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with taking pride in your appearance, but if that's how you're defining your self-worth, if that's how you're defining your self-image, then those things don't age. I mean, your true qualities of being caring and giving and contributing something and being loyal and supportive to your friends, those are the things those things don't age. The outer wrapper does age, and you can fight this battle, and you can run, and you're just going to die tired because it's going to catch up with you. I mean, you are going to age. You can do things to help and take care of yourself, and it's interesting. You each say the other is prettier.
Yeah.
So that means your self-image is damaged because you're not focusing on the right things. True?
True. It's something I've been battling with since high school. I mean, and I think it's more of a control thing too. Like, I feel like the better I do, the more that I am, the more control I have with myself.
Yeah, but you've got to focus on different things. We'll be right back. Beauty is a very individual thing. I mean, you can be at where you think you're absolute best, and somebody might look right past you and look at somebody that you think, well, you know, she ain't much, but somebody else might think so. It's all in the eye of the beholder, as they say. What you got to do is really find what it is you think is so unique and special about who you are. And I mean, I was joking about being in the right town. I mean, look at the people that are successful in Hollywood. They're not always the best looking people, right? They're different. They're different. They're unique people that become movie stars. Find something about you that's unique. Find something about your personality that pops. Find something about you, and those things don't age. True?
Right.
I mean, that's all I'm saying. You're focusing on the wrong stuff. All right, we're out of time. I want to thank my guests for being here today. For more information on today's show, you can visit drphil.com. We'll see you next time.